Yeah, that's not even playing. So we'll just hide that. Hi, it's the Tom Gully Show. We're starting early because Streamyard sucks. Yeah, it really does. They call me Mr. Lucky, and I guess I am. I got a world of hurt and it under my shirt. I don't want to talk about that because I got the love of a beautiful woman, and nothing's gonna take her place. And she makes me feel just like a natural born winner every time I run the race because they call me Mr. Lucky. And I guess I am. I got the love, you guys know all the words. I would try to play, Hail, Tom, says the doctor. I would try to play the song, but this has already crashed twice. And I've tested it, and everything on my computer works perfectly except for one thing, and that is StreamYard. And StreamYard isn't just crashing StreamYard, it's crashing my entire computer. And I have zapped the pram. I have completely eradicated everything that's on my Google Chrome. And I have a just incredible internet speed and direct Ethernet connection. And now it's telling me the signal's going. I'm telling you, Diana O'Brien. Hey, Tom. Hello, Diana. So nice to see you. So I said, you know what? I'm starting this show early, and I don't care. I don't care. 90% of people don't even make it for the thing anyway. Hi, Randy. Yeah. 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 Let's see here. That's what we got. I'll just. There's me on my phone, which apparently connects just fine. But StreamYard, nah, not so much. People saying hi. StreamYard is crashing a lot of podcasts lately. I'm really close to just saying forget it. I mean, I have done shows for the last 6 years and never had this problem. I'm getting some sort of stupid Facebook message from this, and it's I'm telling you, this is a tenuous thing. It could go out at any second. If it goes out again, I'm just done for the evening, and maybe that's it. I've had it. I've just had it. Now I'm getting a spinning blue wheel, which means that's hi. And then there's that. And there's that. And then there's what else? I can't imagine. Terry Nee, of course. Can we help in heightening that frustration? No. Not now, Terry Nee. Don't, please. That's our relationship. Whatever you do, don't talk about poodles. Screw poodles. That guy's a pain in the ass. Yes. There are a lot of YouTubers frustrated with StreamYard and talk about quitting. There has to be another way. There really does. You are StreamYard. See, non sequitur. I don't know what you're saying. It's called a complete sentence. That's what they teach you at Ball State. Apparently at Penn State, the only complete sentence they know is, Mr. Sandusky, do I have to come into the locker room? Anyway, I think you connect well with people. I don't. I think I'm a jerk. Actually, I'm not a jerk on this show, but in real life, I'm pretty much a pretty big jerk. Can be. Oh, no. Every time I press a button, I'm worried that it's going to, Dallas has been getting a lot of rain lately. Thank you, Randy. I appreciate that. Eject the VHS tape and blow on it. Yes. Take a... It just hung up my chat. Take a Q-tip and put some alcohol on it and get the erase, record, and play. What is this exclamation point I'm getting here for Facebook? We're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook, Sam. Is it possible the stream was ended or deleted on Facebook? We'll let you know. Yeah, you do that. I hope Tom is laughing at you. I am on the inside. Or with you. Everybody have a black screen? The Dabble Jew says. By the way, I'm sure our super chats still work. Because who wouldn't want to pay for this? Hang up and redial the modem. I meant with you. There we go. Hello, Tom. Hit the tracking button. No, I have automatic tracking. Blow on the floppy disk. You get spit on it. That doesn't work. Same in the UK, Randy, and this is supposed to be our summer cold in the morning and night, so sick of it. Yes. Update your AOL. I'm on CompuServe, please. Jokerfish is here. Brian Clowder says, evening, everybody. Control-Alt-Delete. I've got a Mac. I use a real computer. Go get a cone. That asshole hasn't showed up yet. I do have a Dr. Pepper cream soda. 0. So I have tested this thing every way you can test it. I've used other programs. Everything works perfectly, even in Google Chrome, till I get into StreamYard. And man, it is slow, and it locks me up like John Dillinger. Yeah, I said it. And so I'm terrified to open the phone lines. I'm terrified to put up any Brilliant AI. Turkatron says, I like the Dr. Pepper strawberry. Are you talking about the strawberry and cream? Because I have a couple of those, and they are absolutely magical. They didn't have any this week when I went there. I think people like them too much. They're selling out. It is. And I get that, but the zero version, it's so good. Why are we talking about this? I am starving to death because I'm starving myself for a diet. I'm eating a lot of salad. SG Fanboy says, hey now. And see, I can't show any of SG Fan. Let's see if I can show one of them. Maybe it'll crash me. I don't know. I know the one I want to show. And it's this one. Oh man, this got crash written all over it. It's got crash written all over it. Is it going to crash me? It's going to crash me? Is it just going to take an hour to load this thing that should take Yeah. We're having some fun now, aren't we, kids? We're having a hell of a good time, aren't we? What do we got here in the chat room? I can't even put up a graphic or it'll crash my computer. Isn't it great? And now it's freezing me. And we're having some problems streaming Facebook. Well, I'd hate to have that happen. Maybe I just shouldn't stream to Facebook. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. Well, screw it. I can't have any fun. Okay. And Dr. Pepper strawberry and ice cream yesterday. First one I had, it was great. It really is great. They should be. Dabble Juice says, "Oi, I give out. Boy, you'll be damned to hell." Michael, get a haircut. You're killing your mother. Anyway. Sandusky took me out for ice cream. I bet he did. Guess he got his wish. Funny. Because I was wishing that. Jesus Christ. The answer is yes. There, see? You going to crash me? That's just a question. Indiana Fever is losing 35-55 to Connecticut. That's because the Indiana Fever has a coach that sucks. If you can't figure out a way to make Caitlin Clark successful and make your team successful, you suck. My fault. Should not have said hi. No, it's not your fault. I just tried to put like a quarter of a meg graphic up on the screen. It was my fault. Guess that's the show for tonight. Guessed wrong. I think it might have been Galumbo. That might be it. What did we learn tonight? LOL. Well, we learned Reverend Wild Bill likes to laugh at his own jokes. There. Happy? F Streamyard. I would open the phone lines and you could call and talk to me about it, but you know, I've been doing this for 6 years. Now, OBS, say what you want about OBS, never crashed. FSY, yeah, exactly. Terry Nee says, I don't find this funny at all. You find it hilarious. Rev, call and see if the phone lines are open. They're not. I can't open them. It'll lock this thing up like John Dillinger. Say goodnight, Gracie. And Reverend Wild Bill, he's got a million of them. Oh, look at Terry Nee blushing. You know, was he blushing? Ball State out. No, wrong. Wrong. The payphones are not open. I tell you what. You know those jokes you used to get in Bazooka Joe bubblegum? Yeah, that's about the same level. Aku says, if I start talking about cars, I guarantee his stream will start working. I guess, I just think he wanted to eat. I can eat on this show. I did it all day yesterday. Tom, they're telling me you have to go. Yeah, well, talk about cars. See if that works. Is there anybody out there? Yes, there is. I hear a storm if swear words and the frustration of West New Orleans. I should start cursing. Reverend Wild Bill remembers the days when I used to curse like a sailor on this show. Or what we call the good old days. Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Blink your eyes. The crashes are coming from inside the house. Ground control to Major Tom. This is Earth calling. It's back. Look, I know. I had a whole spiel planned. I'll do my spiel as soon as I get to the rest of these chats. Welcome back, Tom. Thank you. Thank you, Wild Bill. Sarcastic mother. Dino Bryan says, is there anybody there? Ghost. Doopadoo, Karen Garvey. Tom, did you watch Ted Lasso? And if so, did you like it? Yes and yes. No, I didn't like it. I loved it. Terry Nee's got, what is that? A couple of pens and 2 bears? I don't know what the hell that is. What would the ice cream truck do to the stream? Well, you're not going to believe this, but it is the actual God's honest truth. While I was crashed this last time, that D-bag came driving through here and was this close. I'm barefooted right now because I rushed home to do this. And was so anxious, I said, I'm not going to put my shoes on, which I'm never unshod. That's never. Whoops. Bazooka Joe was the worst. The jokes and the gum were as hard as rock. Yes, Karen Garvey. Terry Nee says, hey, sailor. Red Wild Bill says, God bless IT's pointed little head. Or its, I don't know. So instead of barbecue, today's show is about crashing. Yeah. I'm going to have a tough time. It's like almost like I have to spend my whole weekend doing show prep. Let me tell you about doing a show. Oh, look, now Streamyard puts the thing up. Streamyard was restarted because of a problem. Click report to see more detailed information and send a report to Streamyard. Ignore. I don't work for you. You work for me. You should already know why it crashed. If you're going to give me detailed information, you already know. Will OBS work on YouTube? Well, I guess since that's what I've used up until StreamYard for the last 5 years, it might. I think there's a template that I can get for OBS that will show the chat. I'm not sure if it shows the super chats the way I want. That's what I thought. Well, that's it. So, I do social media for a living. Now, I don't do a ton of the things that I do professionally for this show. I don't do that. SEO, a lot of the tons of things that I don't do. Because I just wanted to do a show. I don't want a ton of extra work per se like that. Now, I know I should do them, and I do some of them, the basic ones. But like when I had my podcast, I spent a little bit of money advertising the various targeted groups and blah, 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 and Google search and all that stuff. And that's fine. It's just not a problem. And I certainly could appear on more shows and spread the word that way and whatever. The biggest problem with this show is that, and when I had my previous job and the radio job, now those were time consuming. I didn't have a lot of extra time, but they were easy jobs. They might make me a little tired, but mentally I was still, I want to do a show. And so show prep, all that other stuff. But still, probably not enough to make this entertaining to the level that I'd like to. And the real thing that throughout the years on the radio that made me entertaining was callers, talking to the callers. And some of you who watched when I was in Utah, we had a lot of fun because I had a lot of callers. This show gets one fucking caller. One. Occasionally someone else will call it. Occasionally. Once a month. Otherwise, it's one guy. Now, that guy is really good. I enjoy talking to him. You enjoy hearing from him. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a variety of callers. Most of the most fun callers are the ones that hate my guts. Because I'm quicker and funnier and smarter than they are. And therefore, it's amusing. all of that being said, that's sort of where we're at on this. And I don't mind any of that. I don't mind the fact that other larger shows have taken this time slot, because really there's billions of people on Facebook and there's no time slots that anybody owns. It's unfortunate that a lot of my listeners come from a certain area that shows at the same time, but that's nothing. It's nothing. It's really nothing. I don't care about that. It will slowly build up an audience anyway, and I'm great with that. I'm not doing a show for 3 people though. That's not doing that. Gotta have like around 10. Anyway. What I won't do, though, is have a thing that crashes every 2 seconds and doesn't let me just use the technology. That ain't going to happen. So I got to figure something out here. I love it when Tom is on edge, falling down. Yeah. So I'm on your turf or something. Look, I've had a really bad day. Why don't we both just... Anyway. Boom! And you are lucky I call then. Well, maybe you've set a standard so high other people are intimidated to call. How can I be that colorful? My voice sounds normal. How can I call in when Ernest T. Bass is calling it? I even called in from the UK, didn't I? Yes, you did, Diana. You did call in from the UK. Aku says, OBS does work with YouTube. However, it has a steep learning curve. Aku, as I mentioned, I used OBS for 5 years without a crash. I think I've got a handle on it, Mr. Fender Repairman. Maybe OnlyFans? Well, or Twitch. I'm kind of scared to call. Rev is a tough act to follow. See, Reverend Bill, you're chasing people off. Hugh says, that's why I don't call Tom. I cuss a lot. Well, you can cuss. I generally don't. Boy, I dropped a good one today, though, didn't I? And in the old days, there'd be way more than one. way more than one. So I gotta, are you regular? That makes me cranky. Dude, I've got a lot of things here that keep me regular. As I mentioned, I eat a couple salads a day, which... That's pretty much a rocket. And then there's also Dulcolax if you eat a lot of cheese. So yes, I'm regular. Streamlabs a month ago got busted copying OBS and even tried slapping OBS with a copyright when they released Slob. Well, thank you, Aku. Joker says, I got a Fender Strat that could use some work. Well, you've got to take that to ConnorGuitart.com, my buddy. And I was answering Bill. Oh, well, you should have put Bill at the front of it. Good Lord, people. Good Lord. You should have said Bill. Streamlab or at the Reverend Wow. Come on. Come on. You're losing your heads, fellas. You dropped a good one last time when the mic fell. Well, that was a good one. Let's see. Yeah, I did drop a good one there. So yeah, doing a show is a lot of work. It really is. For instance, you know how much work it's going to take me to put my store back together? Do you know how much work it's going to take me to figure out what the hell is going on with Streamyard? This is time I want to spend my time making a show. And I've been thinking that maybe it would be smart. My mouse is completely hung up right now. Uh-oh, that's not good. That is not, that means I'm going to crash sometime soon. It has to mean that. What? Oh, okay, it just moved. It just moved. Not much, but it did move. It was like a jump. Come on, man. Well, I'm on here and I'm tabbing, and it just made a big jump again. The chat isn't like scrolling. It's jump, jump. And my mouse is not moving at all. My mouse is paralyzed. Let me turn it off and turn it back on. See if that does. I can read them at least. My Fender repairman, I saw a woman wearing a jean jacket the other day and laughed out loud because of the Night of the Living Dead watch along. Yeah. The Reverend Y. Bill. See, that's simple. At the Reverend Y. Bill. Yes, Reverend Y. Bill. You'll have a good show. So I've been thinking that maybe I just do a show once a week, and it's all produced. It's all voiceover and doing this, and it's all produced. Man, this mouse ain't. I can't put your chats up now. Ain't that great? Well, you can see them. You're all in YouTube. You'll have a good show. Tom needs a BFH to fine-tune Streamyard. I don't even know who BFH is. What a euphemism. Get a snake to take care of your mouse problem. Thank you, Joker. Aku says, I also don't restrict my repairs and restorations to cards, both planes, cast iron radiators, cast iron ice tops, and Mosk tops, that copper thing. Well, thank you. Are you running Windows 11? I'm running Mac. Oh, a big hammer. A big freaking hammer. BFH. Nope. That mouse is locked up like you can't imagine. Well, there's your problem. No, that's not my problem. Again, 6 years. You know. Mac ain't the problem. It's StreamYard. So anyway, a show takes a lot of work. Mac is garbage. Right. All those movies and albums and artwork. Gee, if only Mac was using a 60-year-old computer language souped up by a program masquerading as a system called Windows, hopped up on faster processors, and most of those computers using parts that aren't standardized and bought in lot sales for the cheapest price. Yeah, I'd love that. Terry Nee says, ham radio show? Yes, I could do a ham radio show. Or I could do a show on the Avengers. Or my Bill says, I like a nice 28-ounce ball peen dead blow hammer for fine tuning. Incidentally, it just occurred to me, how the hell am I going to end this stream? I ask thee, my mouse won't move. How am I going to turn this damn thing off? I guess I can just quit Chrome. I guess that maybe will work it. But Dell computers, the parts in a model aren't the same. Turn off the router, unplug the damn machine. Yeah, guys, that won't work. My machine was crashed and rebooting, and this kept broadcasting. You were here for that. Called logic. Called logic. I have a 25-ish pound maul. I'm not going to break the computer because StreamYard sucks. You guys have seen too many movies. And again, I say unto thee, the computer was rebooted. It wasn't on the internet. It was, for all intents and purposes, off after it crashed. Doctor, the machines are revolting against us. Yes, they are. I can't believe this mouse. This mouse is just in the exact same spot. I'm clicking it and not doing anything. Who said using it on your tech? Using what on my tech? Pronoun's a fine thing, but it's a bridge, not a road, okay? Pull the main breaker for that. It was off. Rebooting the computer turns it off and restarts it. So doing a show is hard. It's so much harder when you can't use the technology. I want to have a smoke so bad right now. I can't even tell you. And I don't really have any smokes on me. I only have one. Okay, Tom, let's connect on PC Anywhere, and I will turn you off for sure. Why are you guys trying to turn this into a project? I have just been working, and that's the other thing. My new job takes a lot of energy and brain power and things. So when I get back from it, and I have a long commute there and back, and not long in distance, just in time. And I get back, and my brain tired. I'm awful tired. I keep trying to think, but nothing happens. Hughes says, I hope you didn't buy... Oh, sorry, Hugh. Your post went under the mouse. I hope you didn't buy Stuttering John's 12-year-old MacBook Pro. I did not. By the way, I like the nice green shirt you have on. Funny. Aku says, I miss smoking. Switched over to those nicotine packs. Think Zyn. Ours don't taste as good, but it's a lower dose. Get an MRI. Probably could use an MRI. Magnetic resonance imaging. So, yeah, doing a show is hard. And I apologize for not being able to show your things, but, StreamYard. Thanks. And so now I got to go through and I got to read diagnostic stuff. And I probably have to go into the library for the tree of files and get rid of something, library.something. It's a root file that I'll have to get rid of for StreamYard, and then that'll be a pain in the ass to find it. And then I'll have to trash it, and then I'll have to reboot, and I'll have to start the StreamYard over again, so it will recalibrate or do something else. And that may not even fix it. It might be on StreamYard's end. Because StreamYard this weekend when it was crashing said, are you connected to the internet? Well, you should be able to tell that, dummy. And yes, I am. And then it may be something on our end. Click here. SG Fanboy says, I vape. I've tried to quit. Can't do it. Rinse it off. A pressure washer. Interesting that you mentioned that, Terry Nee, because the company I currently work for sells industrial power washers. Like 50,000 PSI power washers. That's some serious PS. StreamYard should be apologizing, not you, Tom. Thank you, Doc Torrance. Finally, someone is on my side. It says, charge the mouse. I just put a new freaking battery in this. I mean, it's a legitimate... No, that's... That is a legitimate Julian Caesar, that is a legitimate observation. I could always go get another mouse and try that out. But the thing is, you know what? I think I'm going to try that right now. Hold on. Stand by. Stand by, caller. Nope. I just put a new battery in this for, but it's not. Well, let's try this. Oh, even this is a pain in the ass. No, I just took the Bluetooth out and put it back in. I don't really even like to use that for. I would prefer a hardwired mouse, but you just can't find them anymore. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Tom's getting a new mouse. I think I'm going to get some caffeinated goodness. Doopa doopa. I quit drinking, smoking weed 10 years ago. If I quit the vape, I may go nuclear. Or should I say boomer box? Tyranny battery boom boxes were the best. Vaping was very hard to quit, says Aku Mugen. I got out of it by simply running everything out, so I couldn't justify buying more to not waste anything. Battery boom boxes were the best. I love my trackball. This reminds me of Mom and her working her VCR. Does it? This doesn't remind me of your mom. Just StreamYarded on her knees. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? All right. I'm so disgusted. I've never tried a trackball. A trackpad takes some practice because you have different gestures with one or two fingers, but I got used to it. I don't like the pad. My finger's too big. Way too big. SG fanboy is ha 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 ha. Terry Knee's laughing. Hey, Reverend Wild Bill, if he's still here, will tell you that, and many people at the radio station will tell you that off the air, I'm really not to be trifled with. I feel bad sometimes because due to the regular job that I have, and certainly when I was on the radio, when I'm on other people's shows, except for Dysfunctional with No Filter Paul, I was filthy on that show. Totally filthy. No filters at all. But on this one, I kind of have to be. I can't street it up for the kid. No more wired mouses. Doctor, and he's seen Mommy Dears. Doopadoo is laughing. Maka says, funny enough, I've had to kick vaping twice. The last time I started was because I needed a smoke machine to find a leak on an evac system from the 80s. Terry says, do you know any 10-year-old for help? No, I'll just go ahead and consult the pantheon of 10-year-olds that you know from your time with Coach Sandusky. Sick burn. Reverend Webber says, you haven't run me off yet. I'm still here. Tom says things that would make a Russian sailor blush. I do, and I'm good at it. Oh, God. Do you guys know how bad I want to hang out with Bob Levy? I am this far from booking a trip to DabbleCon 2. The reason that I don't is I don't think I could get on the program. And I don't just want to sit in the audience. I mean, Marlboro? No, Lucky Strike menthol. I used to smoke the filterless Lucky Strikes. And by the way, I quit smoking. I just happen to have a couple of cigarettes left that are just remnant. But I am so stressed out right now, I can't even tell you. Aku says, love my wired mouse. I have Razer's Naga. Comes with interchangeable button plates for your thumb. One S2, my favorite S12. Okay. You know what? I just remembered something. I do have another mouse here. Ray DeVito can get you on. Sure he can. He can't get himself on. Hey, you know what? I could try that other mouse. Tom, you and Bob Levy are two peas in a pod. Thank you, Karen Garvey. It's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. I want to go to DabbleCon 2 also. It's the middle of August. I still have a couple weeks to decide. But man, and I get why they do it there, but frickin' Rochester, are you kidding me? There's a town called Las Vegas. There's a town called Miami. It's Dallas. Tom is very G-rated on the live show. He scales it back for you folks. Those of you who haven't gotten my Patreon and heard my interview with the dominatrix, I don't know if the porn star ones are on there or not. But my podcast is very much it's Charlie Rose. It's like I talk to everybody, and I did the controversial, the non-controversial, so you got to let those people, counterculture, all that. I agree, Doopadoo. Atlanta, somewhere, but Rochester, are you? Come on, man. That's like Indianapolis. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Still not working. I know a man who made a dominatrix cry. Eesh. That's, it's not you, is it, Aku? Anyway, so we're just doing a show here. I guess I got 22 minutes left until somebody else's show was coming on that I'm not willing to. I couldn't open up the thing with the whatchamajiggy if I wanted to. Actually, it's not even the right way to say it. I do want to open up the thingamajiggy with the whatchamajiggy, but I can't. I can't. I'm paralyzed. I can't do it. I'm paralyzed. We'll never go back there again. Reverend Rob says, I got stuck in Rochester, New York during a winter storm. I will never go back there again. I went there. I went to the Jolt Cola bottling thing. Hair's messed up. Doesn't matter what city you're in because it's a nonstop. No, it's a man who's been in radio since he was 18. I think he told her she looked like Tommy Roman. Thanks. That's what boosted that. When the cursor, which is not moving, when the chat scrolls and the cursor's on it, it says show, and it blocks out completely what's on the thing. Thank you, Streamyard. Rochester's not very fun. Doesn't matter what city you're in because it's nonstop entertainment. You spend all your time watching shows and meeting people, says Karen Garvey. Hey, I don't need to be on all the shows. I need to be on one show for me to come there for the weekend. Also, I have to bring my own gal. What's Jolt Cola? Jolt Cola was a cola that's a double caffeine, double sugar. White Plains is another bad city. I've taken off out of White Plains. Agency I work for had a private jet that took off out of there. I don't think I'm going to meet any ladies at the DabbleCon, so I have to bring my own. Just meet somebody there. That's what I'm getting at, SG Fanboy. You really see me picking up somebody there with this face, please. That sounds really good. Terry Nee says, you don't want to go to a fun city. No one would stick around. It doesn't have to be fun. It just has to not be Rochester. The weather. I don't know. I get it why they do it, and it's probably the best place to have it for a lot of reasons, but I don't know, man. And it's on the, 15th and 16th? Is that a Friday and a Saturday? Please, or Saturday and a Sunday? Please tell me it is. I really don't want to have to tell my boss I need Friday off. Why? Friday is a big day for what I do, too. It's gigantic. And why? I'm going to Rochester. I guess I wouldn't have to say that, but still. You know, whatever. Whatever. It's not a red letter day for the Tom Kelly Show. Nine months since I had a cigarette. And it was like 18 months before that. Thing I found in New York, and that's a bigger, more like Rochester, I don't know. It's a fine city. The Rochester Lancers used to play there. It was one of my favorite North American soccer league teams. Okay, I get it. My husband would not like Rochester unless there's some great bookstore and he can. Oh, it just moved up. As long as there's no scheduling conflict with the Star Trek con, right? Tom wants to go to a city that has good M80s. That wouldn't be bad. He can spend his time reading books over the weekends. That's Karen Guardian. Tom wants to go to a city that has a good M80s, yeah. Hey, did we not have a great time watching the Why We Fight documentary, War Comes to America, yesterday? Was that not a blast? It was only an hour late, thanks to Streamyard. And we watched it for 2 hours. My weekend was over, completely over. It might have been later than an hour. I don't know. Doctrine says, I enjoyed it. Well, we may do another Why We Fight at some point in time. I don't know. I got to get this thing to work first. So, if you guys got any questions you'd like to ask, Command Tab to another window and see if the mouse works. See, Julian, great advice. You're giving me great advice, but I am terrified to open up another window because I think anything I do is going to lock this baby up and crash me. I wish I saw the end. That's right, the end of the war. Damn good movie, says the doctor. Terry Nee says he wishes he saw the end of the World War II movie. That was the last in the series, but the war ends with a bang, 2 of them. SG Family says, I want to go, but I think, and it just did the thing. Movie was great. Here's what I'm going to do. When are you going to move to Twitch? Never. Because Twitch used to have, was it Justin TV? And they trashed 70 of my shows with no warning. When they got rid of Justin TV, they didn't warn anybody. They didn't, nothing. Just boom, done. And I had been on 3 other platforms. I was on Vocal, I was on YouTube or UTV or U Broadcast, something, I don't know. And then I was on, it was a Swedish thing. SG Fanboy says, I want to go, but I think I'm only going to get to take one vacation this summer. I'm taking the kids on a trip before anything else, so we'll see. Well, that's very, very nice of you. Says the movie was great. Well, it was Frank Capra. He's a great director. A great director. One of my favorites. Not because I missed the movie. Oh, man. Sorry, Karen. Chop Block is still around. I think you could use them. Yeah, I bet you they'd take me back in a heartbeat. Remember that whole fracas? I'm on a network where it got hijacked by people that hated me. because I needed sleep. Karen, I understand. I needed sleep too. Do you think I wanted to do that show? Think I wanted to do this one? Think I want to do any of them? What was the Swedish one? It was called. It wasn't called Babel, but maybe it was called Babel or something like that. It was really good, but then they went to like a all business communications platform or something like that. But they gave you plenty of warning. As a matter of fact, I have all of those episodes still. And I didn't just have episodes there. I would do random live streams, walking places and at restaurants and all sorts of crazy stuff. So what was that called? That's the bunch of broken links on my site from that particular channel because I did so many of them. Reverend Wild Bill. What was that guy's name? He lived in Phoenix or somewhere, and I forgot. God, that guy was a mess. The chop block guy. Jeez Louise. But I had a good run on that, kind of. Karen Garvey, $10. Thank you for working your ass off. Well, thank you, Karen. You didn't have to do that, though. Julian Caesar says Russia hijacked Disney's kids' TV channel in Europe and broadcast war footage a few days ago. Urban Mobile says, I ran across the video this weekend of our friend, and I use that term loosely. You mean the one where he's in the luchador mask dancing around in a Speedo? Thank you for working your... Thank you, Karen Garvey. I appreciate the $10. I really do. Yeah. But I was the only daily live show on that network. And he sold his soul to those gamers, and all the horror people left that channel like there was no tomorrow. I can't remember his real name. It was Scott something. Is his name Scott? Yeah, it was Scott something. But he had two names. It was weird. His real name, and then he had his like professional name. He was messed up. He was messed up. But yeah, and I told him, I said, you realize those guys call into my show and do all sorts of evil things. Karen is a sweetheart. Karen Garvey is a sweetheart. She really is joy. She really is. But yeah, that was one of the two networks that put people on their net. Well, three actually, that put people on the network. And one of them, when I couldn't do a show, put the show that hated me in my time slot that had all of the viewers that this other show couldn't get. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So at one time I was on 5 networks, and then I had to get rid of a couple of them. The one, I was selling his poopy bags for him, and he took me off one of the drive times and put some awful show on. Some horrible drug addict that suddenly decided he was a rehab counselor. Mask and Speedo, that sounds like nightmare fuel. Doc Torn, if I had the video and I was capable of showing it to you, I would show it to you. And you would vomit. Reverend Wild Bill says, what was it? Psycho Bunny Death Cult with Miss Scarlet. Yeah, that was an okay thing. I'm not mad at them. Ms. Scarlet is just a confused person sometimes. Not all the time, just sometimes. And she thought I knew about things that I had no knowledge of and got mad at me for it. I think she did the same thing to you, Bill, and banned us. And it was like, what did I do? You know what you did. Julian says, like Game of Thrones, except on Twitch. Yeah, Twitch. I don't know, man. I do have an account on Rumble. But again, that's not I mean, it's just like YouTube. You got to have an interface if you're going to get these chats up on screen. There's Streamyard, and then there's Streamcast, there's another one that Wild Bill knows about. The Doctorn. It was nightmare mask, Speedo, and a torso that shook like Jello. Yeah, it was bad, man. It was. Did you ever see the BTK photos where he hung himself in women's clothes and that's what it was like. I did know a few things about her, and you know if you remember the pics. Yes, Reverend Wild Bill, I ran across one of those pics, the pic, recently, and I just took a trip down memory lane and said what we all said. Hey, not bad, pretty good. That's damn good. Aku says, right now YouTube is doing a hard push on ads. I get hit by one every 5 minutes, which pulls me out to the other creepypastas I listen to. The Doctor says, Bill, by the gods. Karen Garvey says, if I was a billionaire, I would love for someone to do documentaries about podcasters that I listen to. This is why I'm not a billionaire. Well, you never know. You could win the lottery. Dennis knew how to have a good time, says SG Fanboy. I don't know who Dennis is, but Reverend Wild Bill says, I have two of them, different reviews. I think I have two of them, too. Karen Garvey says, BTK did killing with the Ables. Shoot, just moved up. Do BTK yet? I don't think they have, but I don't know. She told me one time, did Miss Scarlett, she would love to have one of my T-shirts stretched across her, I bought her stickers, too. I bought her stickers. I mean, I didn't buy her stickers. I bought the stickers she was selling, which I can't see how that was a profit center. Maybe, I don't know what the point of that was, but I got some around here somewhere. BTK. Oh, Dennis, BTK. Yes, Dennis Rader. I never got to see her in the shirt. I think I got a picture of her in the shirt. I'm afraid the codes officer because of BTK. Yeah, I'm afraid of my ADT security guy because of BTK. Terrified, as a matter of fact. That's who he's working for when he left the phone message. I would like to report a killing. I think that was the Nancy Fox that he reported. I don't know. When he did that whole diatribe on all the people he'd killed, Reverend Wild Bill says, I was giving a Psycho Bunny death called Zippo lighter, laser etched. Wow. I love Zippos. I love one of those. When BTK went on that, he was just supposed to plea. And the prosecutor was like, let him talk. And he just keeps going, I came out and I grabbed my gun kind of quick like, and I kept saying that, kind of quick like, put her down, and, she was in some distress. So, yeah, you were the good guy. He actually got mad at the detectives who he asked, you won't be able to trace this disc that I send you, will you? Oh, no, you won't. And he got mad at him when they traced the disc to the actual church he worked at and his very actual name. And he's like, why'd you guys do that? You weren't straight up with me. And they're like, we were trying to catch you, you horrifying murderer. The Psycho Bunny Death Cult logo is etched with the apple white bunny on it. Yeah, they had a thing going, but all those horror things just seem to collapse. The people aren't that stable, and they get mad at each other, and they ban people, and they just had to get away from all that. There's a documentary about BTK's daughter. Needless to say, it was sad, but an interesting point of view. I've seen that documentary. It was sad and a very interesting point of view. SG Fanboy says, the original Brendan Dassey. There was a point in time where people were just asking me, can I put your show on my network? And I'd go, yeah, go ahead. I don't care. Go ahead. What do I care? You know, I don't care. Remember Ironic Radio, Wild Bill? Remember those guys? Those are the guys that put the dude that just one episode of his show, his dumb show, Duper says, yeah, Ironic Radio. A bunch of guys that like beer. Grandma Bill says they ban me because I'm a passive aggressive, according to them. Who? The Ironic people? I don't. And they were. I still kind of like those guys, but they got all upset. There was a dude out of Minnesota that did a sports show. It was Beer Barrel Sports or something like that. And he did nothing but lie about me at the beginning of his show. And while Bill might remember the show that I played the opening and just refuted every single lie. And I told those guys, it's like, look, if you want them on your network, it's no big deal. But I'm not into this radio slap fight crap. And if I was, I wouldn't be with somebody on my own network. And they said, we chilled him out. Don't worry about it. And then like 2 days later, I had something to do and couldn't do my show. And I gave him a best of to play. But they put his show in my slot. And I'm like, hey, dude, I'm not building up that time slot so you can put Mr. Liar Boy in my slot. Ticked me off really bad. Oh, Psycho Bunny Death Cult did. Well, she thought I knew about the whole thing with her and Brian O'Brien. I knew nothing about it. Nothing. And she got mad at something I said, which wasn't even about that, and accused me of knowing about it. And Scarlett said I knew things about her and it scared her. Look, she's under a lot of psychiatric care, and I hope the best for her. I think she's a nice gal, but she's just like the rest of them. Who is that doll mother, odd mother, whatever her name was, very talented, made those dolls and everything, but they just weren't very stable. And they did some cool things. They went and stayed in that hotel room where all the murders happened, and they had they were really doing some good content, but they would just kind of Fruit Loop out on people. Reverend Bill says, guess I'm a scary person. Well, they mentioned person. I went to the graveyard and all that stuff. Aku says, didn't Chad Daybell get a guilty conviction a day or so's again? Wild story there. Well, he got convicted, and then they were going to sentencing was the last thing I saw about Daybell. Didn't take him long to convict him either. It's a very wild story there, Aku. It's a very wild story there. Extremely wild. Let's see, is my mouth working? Yep. Nope, and it's not gonna. It ain't gonna, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't gonna work. It's just gonna sit there and suck. It's just gonna sit there and suck. Imagine if I had done show prep today. Psycho Billy Death Cult? No, Psycho Bunny Death Cult. I don't know what it's called now. They've changed their name so many times. It was the Red Hair or something after that. I don't know. I don't know. Very supportive of those people. But the horror people just skitch out on you. It's just too bad. Because they were fun people. You know who doesn't sketch out on you? And that's the people at Sonic Asylum Radio, the metalheads. They're the most well-adjusted people on the internet. I'm telling you, they are. They are nice. They are supportive. They are cool. They are knowledgeable. They are fun. They're awesome. I can't say enough good things about Metal Maiden Vicky and her sister Lori Dancer and George Evans from the metal band Halloween. All those people are fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Ab-fab, some of us would say. Ab-fab. Karen Garvey says, I'll Google it. That motel on Bankhead Highway, scary motel in its own rights, no matter about the murder there. Yeah, it was weird. Mother kept Psycho Bunny, Death Cup, and Scarlet started out red hair, and her and Mother got mad at each other. Yeah, how could they? They were besties. They were besties. And I don't know. They just... I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of things on this here internet in my day. I hear tell of a lot of things on this here internet. And I tell you what, hot dang you all, Lord, son, I reckon. I bet you it's just gonna be with the habit of bone gone cell phone on. Yeah, it was, the guy from, what was it, KCDB Radio or whatever, he was cool too. The guy out of Kansas City. He was cool. Then there was that guy down in Florida, Tony Cipollino, or I forget his name. And he went blinkered with me over the, remember that guy from Philadelphia, Tony D, who kept calling in and trying to match wits with me and just getting made to look like a fool. He made friends with him, and so then he didn't like me. And he was, who's Tom Gully? It's like, dude, I'm the guy that's been on your network for the last 2 years. Mr. Once a Week broadcaster. Tony D. Yeah, Tony D. Well, this was a friend, a guy that wasn't friends with Tony D, then became friends with Tony D. Oh, and then there's that guy out of New Hampshire. So-and-so Unleashed. What the heck is his name? I'm not trying to be, I don't remember his name because he's not important enough. I just am glitching out on his name. So-and-so Martin. He couldn't be more leashed. This is the most boring show. Somebody's running a chainsaw outside. There's been some characters to come and go during your shows too. Yeah, was it Martin? He's a green host, but he's not stone green. I don't think he's stone green. And to think you got stuck with me. I don't even remember how you found me, Wild Bill. Or maybe I found you. Where do I begin to tell a story of a love that was so strong? Oh, Psycho Bunny Death Cult. Yeah. Yeah. What was it? Doggone it. What's that guy's name? He's another guy that pops in here and tries to drag me into his nonsense. He's out of New Hampshire. Unleashed. He's got his own radio network. New Hampshire Radio. Let's see if I can find it under that. Radio Unleashed. Matt Connerton. Yeah. Matt Connerton, Unleashed. You'll never see a show more leashed in your entire life. That's where boredom goes, to be bored. Diane O'Brien's got some music going there. Is Rev going to be on Replayables? I hope so. He should be. What's on it right now? On whatever? Is there? I don't think there's a Rico going on, is there? I saw there was one around like 2 o'clock or something. Diana. I do like when Tom sings. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Reverend Wild Bill says, I was one of the founders of Psycho Bunny Death Cult. I was one of the first 5. I know. I don't know, man. I guess I could check and see on Rico. On this phone, that works great. As long as your phone worked damn good. It's a damn fine phone. Works awful good. I'll tell you what. Subscriptions. I want to look at my subscriptions. Fever Dream. Oh, Comedy Shaman's on if anybody wants to vomit. Bonus Uncle Rico 4 hours ago. Let me see. Uncle Rico. View channel. Here we go. live. There's a bonus. I don't see anything scheduled. So I guess nothing's going on. I guess I'm not unwittingly tromping on anyone. The Potato is doing a show now. I don't know where I stand on the Potato. Because I think he's funny, but sometimes I just think he's kind of snarky. And the funniness isn't there for me. He's also one of those people that I'm pretty sure has very low regard for me, which typically does not alter my opinion of somebody, but in his case, I mean, maybe I just don't watch enough, or I don't. Maybe I just think it's because I don't think he's funny as he thinks he is, which isn't to say he's not spectacularly funny, because he is. Those two things can be true at the same time. I'm very sure I'm not funny. See, that's the beauty of me. You know, maybe Bob's going to do a show tonight. I'm always in favor of that. Here's the other thing. I've been on Rico. I've been on Point Dabble Point. I've been on Levyverse. I've been on Replayables. What else have I been on in the Dabbleverse? There's probably a couple of other ones. And I would say I've done those shows and been totally unremarkable. No one could possibly remember that I was even on them. And I was on Rico when Opie bailed on us. Or they had the disagreement. I don't want to say he bailed. They were at loggerheads, as Doug Llewellyn would say on the old school People's Court. Karen Garvey says, I'll go there when I'm done here. I can watch on replay. They have no emergency status of Stuttering John, says Reverend Wild Bill. Joker Fist says, PCL is on. I can't listen to Perry scream tonight. I can never listen to him scream. I'm sorry. I mean, I know it's funny and all that stuff, but it just, I'm like, God, I can't. It just reminds me of growing up. Dr. Horn says, what haven't you been on, Tom? Nobody knows, because I was capable of doing all those shows and not making a ripple on any of them. Aku says, I occasionally watch a newfie that has a show about how that Japanese power plant is still leaking deadly radiation. I swear he's stuck in his head in reactor 4 with the BS, he said. That's funny. That is funny. You were good on Point Dabble Point, says SG Fanboy. I don't remember a thing I said. Not a thing. Not one thing. Julian Caesar says, Tom's the podcasting gray man. I am. I'm like Zelig. I was in all these places and nobody has any recollection whatsoever that I was there. None whatsoever. Not a blip was made. Not a blip. Not a single solitary remnant of my being on those programs. And I think importantly, haven't been invited back. Joker said, I became a fan after you did the Replayables. Again, I don't remember a thing I did on that show and haven't been invited back. Did you watch the USA cricket team beat Pakistan? I did. Huge upset there. Shout out to the gray man out there, says SG Fanboy. So is everyone ready for John Wick 5? Didn't know there was going to be one? I thought he's dead. Wasn't he dead after that last one there? I got to say, the last John Wick, I didn't like that much. It was really good. I mean, it was John Wick, but I just didn't. The U.S. has a cricket team. You're darn right we do, and it's made up mostly of Pakistani and Indian people's kids. I found you through Phil. I saw your episode where VTL host. Oh, yes, I did that Vince the Lawyer episode. Tim Jenkins says they apparently do. I think it would be good for some other powers to emerge in cricket. It's been a stranglehold for far too long. The big five there in cricket. But the British in cricket are very similar to the British in soccer. They have this huge tradition and used to be dominant, and now they're just kind of living on the past glory. The boogeyman is alive. Baba Yaga. Someone must have cured him with a pencil. With a pencil. Yeah, don't really get invited back to any of those shows. Oh, God. I didn't even know John Wick had a 4. Yeah, John Wick 4. I think it's the weakest in the series. I really do. And I think the series did a great job of ramping up. And the number 3 was great. And number 1 obviously was great. Number 2 was great. But Jamaica dominates bobsledding. Now they're coming for cricket. Yes. USA humiliated by Colombia this weekend. It's time for the Jamaicans to rise. Yes. Check out the trailers for John Wick 5, Tom. I will do that as soon as I'm done extricating myself from this live stream. 8 o'clock already. It's almost time for me to go to sleep. I got to make dinner. I think because you are intelligent, they probably struggle having you as a guest. No, I don't think that's the case. I think I haven't been very entertaining on their programs to speak of. I kind of let the game come to me a little bit, and I probably shouldn't do that. I should probably be a little more. Can you do a hand trumpet? That's somebody else's shtick. A nice hot gumbo sure does sound nice. Yeah, whoa, doesn't it though? Doesn't it though? What I wouldn't give for the barbecue place to be open tonight, but it's not open till Wednesday. For the love of Mike. More like an ostrich. Not an ostrich, but I was on a really successful sort of sports show with like 4 to 5 different hosts, and the rule we had was let the game come to you. Don't be thirsty. Don't. And on that show, I think you on some of those shows you have to really stake your claim, and heretofore I think I've been a much better chipper inner in the chat room than I have on the show. I think it's my fault. Urban Bill says, Tom is on a different level than them. I don't know about that. Tim Jenkins says, maybe now you can start a cricket show. I don't know enough about cricket to start a show of that nature. But I think cricket is like many sports, it's a sport that Americans wrongly ignore. It's like, look, like billions of people follow cricket. Billions of people follow the cricket. Not Jiminy Cricket. No. It's bigger than the Super Bowl. Everything's bigger than the Super Bowl. The Champions League's bigger than the Super Bowl. The Copa America Final's bigger than the Super Bowl. The English Premier League FA Cup is bigger than this. I mean, SG Fanboy says, this is the last professional broadcaster. No, there's... the thing about broadcasting, what is this Super Bowl you speak of, says Wabil. The thing about broadcasting is that there are ultra-talented, ultra-professional broadcasters in little towns all over the place, and big cities. They're all over. There's still a few of us left. Quite a few, as a matter of fact. SG Fanboy says they follow cricket because they don't have baseball and football. Well, I think they don't follow baseball and football because they have cricket. Ooh, look what I did there. Hey, you put your peanut butter in my chocolate, I'll put my chocolate in your peanut butter. I remember watching rugby with my father-in-law before he died. Yeah, rugby's a good one too. Tom knows I'm a big sports person. Reverend Bible doesn't. He don't. Reverend Bible, he don't care about sports. Okay, the last professional broadcaster on YouTube. Well, I will say this. Even though I'm not Dabbleverse, I'm Dabbleverse adjacent. My show typically, when StreamYard's not hosing me in the keister, is on time. That's the strongest part of my show. On time. Jillian Caesar says, don't blame Americans. Blame broadcasters for ignoring stuff that doesn't have built-in commercial breaks. Well, yeah, actually, cricket, you could have a lot of commercial breaks because it takes 7 days to play one match. Thanks to YouTube, I found shows like Mock the Week, Dabbleverse-ish. I'm Dabbleverse-esque. I'm Dabbleverse light. You see, in Paris, people have been defecating in the river to protest the Olympics. You sure that's not just the French? Americana like American sports. Look how long it took soccer to take. That's kind of true. Being 30 minutes late every show gets old. Yeah, it does. Nothing beats the 3.5 hours. The killing it with the Ables was, a week ago Saturday? I didn't get to watch it this Saturday. God, I gotta quit smoking. 9 months. One stressful show, and I'm back. Thank you, StreamYard, for my lung cancer. Akumugan, how about Would I Lie to You? I gave up my sport when they took my deer stand down on Lucky Street. Lyndon says, way late. Yeah, I didn't get to watch it this Saturday. I was otherwise encumbered. I love that show, though. I do. I love Chris Abels. His wife is the best. She's very good sport. She's a very good sport. I did this morning very early. I woke up super early and watched the last, I think it was a Rico, where John was threatening to sue and stuff, and those guys were on fire. It was hilarious. But I've said before, and I'll say it again, I think those 4 guys could read the phone book and make it funny. I really do. Or the Yellow Pages, or any number of things. They're just really funny people. All of them. Aku says the best chant I heard from cricket was the Aussies versus the British. $3 to the pound. $3 to the pound. All right, I think I've bored you people enough. I guess if I just quit this, it'll end the stream. Let's see. No, still not working. Mouse still not working. Not even close. Not once, even as a joke. Karen Garvey says, Tom Gully, you could make the phone book funny. Well, just the foreign names. Tim Jenkinson says, I imagine having multiple people makes doing a show a lot easier. It's easier in some ways and harder in some ways. I mean, a lot of people that follow this show were not happy when they would occasionally book their shows at the same time as mine, or now just went ahead and took that whole time slot, which really doesn't matter because I can't do it at that time now anyway. But the truth of the matter is, I've said it before, I'll say it again, there's billions of people that are on YouTube. If somebody has a show on the same time as yours, you have absolutely no right to cry, whine, or anything else. Point I'm getting at is, when you have 4 people, it's harder to schedule a show that you all 4 can make, because that's 4 times the amount of personal commitments and then all the other stuff. So, easier in some ways, harder in some ways. Without their muse, there would be no show. No, I beg to differ, because the BS show a lot of times is not about John, and it's hilarious. So, but to your point, he does make it easy, doesn't he? Doesn't he, though? I don't think, I mean, he reminds me of Inspector Clouseau. He's got this ego and just thinks he's controlling all the strings and the pattern himself, and it's just so sad. So sad. Aku says, I think I saw a few clips of it, but it was more Sean Locke compilations. The man was quick, clever, completely unhinged. Karen Garvey says the BS show had Joe to take care of the technical errors. Joe's just a brilliant guy. He's just a genius. That's all there is to it. Gilman says, hey, 143. I don't know what that means, but don't insult the inspector. John is working his way through every sidekick on YouTube. Yeah, BS show's not had to take care of the technical errors. Yeah. Team Frog. Yeah, the Frog's great. I'll tell you one guy I can't stand, and that's Quadfather. That guy's a big bag of nothing. Yeah. Here, let me. That face is just. Something was carved out of a piece of wood. And that's saying that with this face. So, you know what I'm saying? A mayfly has improved and enriched mankind far more than John. And on that note, Reverend Wabill says, Tom, what do you think of Granny? Well, here's what I think of Granny. When I first saw Granny, I just thought he was annoying. I didn't really care for him too much. And very quickly after that, he started making me just laugh so hard. And how can I say this without sounding slimy? Without sounding like John? If he can get a cool chick like Lemme to say, hey, this is my guy, there's got to be something going on there. So I'm a big fan of Granny's, actually. I'm a big fan. Jokerfish says, Quadfather just embarrasses him. So, yeah. Julian Caesar says, Granny and Uncle Jack are good together, but on too late. Well, I think their show's going to be on at the same time as mine tomorrow, and I think Bob Levy's going to be on it. So I got that going for me. Reverend Wabill says, Docs. I put Quad in the same league as Vince. I don't get them. Always agree. Never have a stance or review their own. Yeah, don't get me started on Vince the lawyer. What he did to Artie can never be forgiven. Ever. Ever. And that's just the start. Granny has a unique charm. He's quick, too. He is quick. I'm a big fan of Granny's. I'm a big fan. Big fan. I don't believe Quad is doing a work. I don't either. I believe Quad later will say that he is, but I don't think he is. Let's see here. That damn carrot had me in tears. Okay, I guess maybe I should try to end this thing. Shouldn't I? Vince is evil. He's just trades in misery. He's so full of himself. It's just weasel. Just a weasel. He's quick. And that she did. Said that she did. He's quick. Said that she did. Okay, I got it now. I don't watch John/Quad, but John Depp needs a co-host, so someone has to do it. Might as well be him. The only thing Quad can claim is that he's kept John talking. Well, that's true. I will love it if Quad is doing a work. I don't think he is. Blank VTL. That's right. How can you end the show with no control? I don't know. I have no idea. None whatsoever. This mouse still ain't working. It's not working. Just locked up. And Interesting, says Wild Bill. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. That's what it come down to. This is it. This is why I am a completely obscure person on the internet. But very interesting, but stupid. But stupid. Julian Caesar says, I saw Quad lifting a dumbbell while John was broadcasting, so that was kind of a joke directed at John's supposed workouts. Maybe. Doctor says, extended Tom Gully show. Well, that's because I can't turn it off. Thanks, StreamYard. Just lock this thing up like a... And here's the other thing. I don't have the time. Well, I guess I do Wednesday. I'll come back. I'll try to do this again tomorrow night. I don't know what I'll do, but without locking it up. The Doctor now live 24/7. That's right. Says Wild Bill. Wednesday, I might be able to try to get to the root of this problem, but I don't even know if StreamYard has call-in help or anything like that. They probably just have a bunch of forums, and you gotta... Might be easier just to... Wild Bill was talking about something else. Streamcasts, I don't know what it is, but I guess I could try that. I guess I could ask around. I guess I could just try to pick up something on the streets. Aku says, Julian, to be fair, it's not like he could do a deadlift. Well, my Bill says, tomorrow night you can just join back on this feed. It's true. Streamlab. Maybe I'll give them a try. I don't know. And here's the other thing. You got to use Google Chrome if you're on StreamYard. I'm pretty sure that's true. I'll check into it. But I don't have time to check into it. I have enough time to get my butt in this seat and get this show on the air when I get home from work. The Too Hot for TV compilations to the outtake of the mock of the week are a great laugh, especially early on. Okay, I got to close this out. You guys, I can't put your chats up anyway. I'm going to close this browser. And then I guess I'm going to... Well, hey, no, wait. Use StreamYard on Brave browser, says Bill. That may not be a Mac browser. Here, let me quit Chrome and then open it up again and see what happens. I'll be right back. Maybe. Okay, I just quit. Changes, yeah, okay. Changes you made may not